Alright, there we go. Is there sound now? Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear us?
Alright, welcome everyone. This is my sister. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Well, that does seem pretty noisy for this mic.
Is it the...
Oh, it is. It'll be that. Can you turn that off? Groovy. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Maidenless. Nice username. I'm just going to switch over to this. And I'm just going to get started. So far, we've done this many views. I'm going to do one more. Ooh. Now, here's the tricky part. I kind of want a duplicate of this frame. And yet I still want to flip this around.
Hey, Joel. Look at the core.
Well, you're very handsome. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Would this work for Vtubing? I would say no, but maybe. Because, okay, here's the thing. Blender, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have any features for real-time animation. But you might be able to find an add-on out there. I've seen some people who've created like an add-on where you can use like a gaming controller to control a Blender rig. But then you'd have to make a way to get your face to control it or your audio to control it. And then also a way to get that video and feed that into your streaming software. It would probably be better to just use a dedicated software for VTubing. Yeah. No, I want... Yes, that's right. No, I need this. Oh, no. I need these buttons. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I just want to rotate that one. In fact, I'm going to duplicate all of the front-facing drawings just because they're closer to what the back-facing drawings will look like. I'm going to go into this view. Oh, why is that ear there? That shouldn't be there. I need to test this. Okay, that's interesting. Unless it's not an ear. What is that? Oh, it didn't copy the drawing. Because there is no drawing. Okay, I need to insert a blank keyframe and duplicate that. There we go. That only applied to the color layer. That's annoying. Okay. All layers. There we go.
So Joel, we have Maidenless responding. If I import this model to Unity.
So you'd have to, in order to take this out of Blender, I reckon you'd have to use a different, you'd have to use a slightly different workflow. So right now I'm using an armature to control the character, which is made up of a bunch of grease pencil objects. As far as I'm aware, there is no way to export grease pencil to any other software but Blender. So if you want to use this in Unity, you'd have to use image meshes. So you'd have to like paint it in Krita or some sort of image-based painting software. Import those layers as 3D planes into Blender, and then you can rig those, and that you can import into Unity. But just be careful not to use grease pencil because it's going to just cause problems. Yeah. Right, and then what else? What else am I doing? Oh, interesting. Similar thing. Oh, it's because it's locked. So it didn't copy properly. All right. Copy that properly. Beautiful. All right. I also need to flip the legs around.
Maidenless says thanks.
No worries, Maidenless. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find that useful. Ah, for the, like, you mean for the VTubing thing, for importing into Unity. Right, yeah, no, that could work, totally.
So you think it could work to import from Grease Pencil straight into...
Oh, no, not Grease Pencil.
No,
Okay.
so... Yeah. Still
combine my answers from before. Yeah. Okay, now I just need to take the face and just move that behind.
Also, if any of you have any questions about Sketchy's childhood, I'm... I'll see what I can answer. No, I'm joking. Well, I mean, you're welcome to send questions.
Just whether we'll answer them is a different
story.
story.
But yeah, it'll keep me entertained looking at chat at least.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any experience in animation, really.
So now it's just a blank-faced guy. I think that's all I needed to do. I mean, everything is flipping correctly. I guess the face would be...
yeah.
Yeah, I might need to adjust that. Okay. So I take that eye. And yeah, it's on the wrong side. So I move that over. Take the other one. Move it over. Take the brow. Just test that. Yeah, that's looking right.
And you also have to move the hair, like the little hair nodule.
Yes, I will. Actually, that's a good point. Thank you. Oh, that okay. Good to know. That also doesn't have a blank keyframe at the beginning, so it just doesn't have a keyframe. Oh, insert blank on all layers. Copy that. Paste. Why didn't it? That should have maybe duplicate. Yeah, duplicate will work. And then where is the hair? There it is. I don't know how I feel about flipping that. I think I'm going to flip it in the grease pencil in the drawing. Alright, I think that's everything. So now I just need to go through and redraw everything. Oh, actually, this didn't update properly either. Again, because it has a locked layer. Alright, there we go. So I'll just duplicate that over. Perfect. Alright. Here, I'm going to insert a blank keyframe. Oh, it didn't work. I need to delete this first. Well, actually, I'll just delete the contents. And then I'm just going to isolate that. And I can get into the ink. Why is that looking so weird today? I should really save these settings because I keep having to do that. Perfect. I think my line's a bit thick at the moment. That looks better.
really struggling to perfect the bum bum.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whenever you're making a character, you gotta make sure the important details are drawn right. There we go.
Yeah, all the important details.
Like, the less important features like the face, you know, you can kind of be inconsistent with, but...
But the bum.
Yeah. You gotta make sure that looks good. Because that's where the audience is gonna be looking.
Because the character's mostly facing away from the screen, right?
Well, in this view, he is.
True. Because Joel, what do you think your favorite bit about rigging is?
I think it's the problem solving. I don't know, having, like... By rigging, you're almost inherently adding limitations to the character, because obviously, you know, frame-by-frame animation gives you the most flexibility. But, so by rigging, you're trying to reduce the flexibility as little as possible while still managing to...
Create something that's going to be workable?
Yeah, like you're trying to reduce the flexibility while, increasing the efficiency of movement.
Okay. Ranking. Would you put... So, animation, rigging, character design, background design. Rank them.
I hate background design.
Okay, so that's number 4?
that's definitely the last.
That's interesting, because I reckon you're pretty good at it. I like your backgrounds.
I'm definitely least consistent with my background.
Yeah,
so like sometimes I make something I'm really happy with, but that's not super frequent. However, then probably character designs, because even though I love designing characters, ultimately it's still, you know? It's a still thing. And I guess rigging is too, but then you got the problem solving, which is really nice. But actually, I think I'd put animation first, and then rigging, character design, environment design.
Yeah, nice.
Alright, that's that drawing done. That was easy. Now with this one, I think I just make a duplicate and I'll just delete these things. And maybe sculpt it a little bit. Well, that's kind of where it needs to be.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then this one is a little trickier. I'm gonna duplicate all layers. Oh, actually, that was active layer. No, it was all layers. That's okay. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna also delete. Oh, yeah. That part. I just need to isolate it to understand it. Yeah. Alright. So now I can add on the color layer, I'm just going to add a big old loop around just to cap it off. And then I'm going to fill it in with the pants material. And then I can go in and delete that line.
Are you going to finish shaping the bottom of it?
Yeah.
You know?
I think hopefully I'll be able to do that in sculpting.
Yeah.
So if I just, I'm just gonna, that part lines up really nicely. I just gonna have to move this all down.
Yeah, because what do you think about 2D rigging versus 3D rigging? Which is your favorite?
I used to think they were kind of the same. because everything I learnt originally, when I was being totally self-taught, everything I learnt about rigging was for 3D rigging, and I just transferred that to 2D rigging. However, since working at Muck Putty on Bad Jelly, I realized there is a big difference. And I think I prefer 2D rigging just because in 3D it's a lot of the same concepts that you just duplicate depending on the context. But then with 2D rigging, it's like, well, what do you want to do with it? What do you like? What does the rig need to do? What and how it's a lot more creative in your problem solving. Because if your rig is trying to achieve some sort of 3D look, that solution isn't going to look the same for everything you rig. Yeah. Right, I need to shift this foot behind the leg. There we go. And I need to redraw it.
Yeah, you do. Because that is not a normal looking foot.
Yeah. Of course I duplicated the front, so I'm just going to delete that and then insert. Okay. This is tricky because so much of the foot is hidden behind this part. So I kind of need to sketch some of it out.
Joel, did you start your recording for the VOD
didn't.
you were supposed to start?
Thank you. Okay, just going to start recording. Alright. Thank you for that.
Cool.
Oh. Is my audio? Yeah, it's on. Okay. Yeah. And it's going to look something like that, I reckon. And then I can just use the trimmer. There we go. And then I'm just going to remove the onion skinning. Actually, I want that on. I just don't want that on. There we go. And now just the whole base of the shoe.
Why does the base of the shoe make it look like a croc on this angle?
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, I think it is fine.
I'm going to remove that little reference line I drew. Oh, everything's on the same layer. Hang on. Let me make sure the line work's on the line work layer. Right, there we go. Now, for the other leg, I'm wondering if I can just copy the frame and then paste it. Okay, that's weird. But that's fine. It's annoying though. Why can't I copy multiple? Can I multi? Oh, there we go. That'll help, surely. Yes. But weirdly it didn't flip. So I'm just gonna move that over like that manually. I also need to move this foot behind the leg. I can mute it.
That's not muting. you though, those people that are tuning in, either people with degen hours or people that live in the southern hemisphere.
Well, it's not the hemisphere that changes the time.
True. Okay, yeah, fair. Always be
Though
dumb.
a lot of the people in the southern hemisphere are closer to us horizontally as well.
Ah, yeah. There's still the Brazilians. And,
Yeah,
you know?
all of South America. Alright, now I'm going to move these arms forward. There we go. How do I approach this? I wonder what would happen if I just flipped the arm. Oh, that's pretty close actually. I'm just going to do that. And then I'll have to redraw the hand, but that's okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other arm. Oh, and I have to move the entire head behind the neck.
So where are most of your people from? Like, watchers, do you know?
I think most of my viewers are in the US.
Yeah.
But then there's like a close fight between the US and then Brazil and I think India.
Okay, yeah.
It's been a while since I've looked at those analytics though.
Yeah, true.
So that might have changed. Alright, I'm just gonna need to do I might do this on a new frame just so that I can use the onion skin when I go new thing. Just turn on the onion skin for that. Alright. Because it's gonna be pretty similar. Let's use the trimming tool. Alright. Let's go. Now I just need to. That's annoying. Right, there we go. And now I can just fill that in. I don't know if this is going to look good as the skin shade. I might need to just put that as the skin regular, depending. Yeah, that looks weird. I have to add a new material, choose skin, and assign it. There we go. Although, I could, when I redraw the head, oh, it doesn't actually matter anyway,
Yeah,
because it's going to be covered by this. Oh, that is, nope, that's the wrong bone. It's not going to be covered by the mustache. There we go.
Yeah.
But that's going to have to look pretty different as well. Although, I can start by going insert, duplicate, flip it. Sculpt it into place a little bit. Oh, I'm
like,
on the
what?
wrong. Hang on, wait. I need because I did the neck differently. All right, hang on. Now I can just replace those frames, and then I need to on this move that back. There we go.
Do you often find your workflow has a lot of that, like where you realize
I made a mistake and I go back and forth? Yeah. It makes it really difficult to make tutorials, because on one hand I want to record every step as I do it, but if I do that, it's going to get really confusing because I keep making mistakes and having to fix it. Oh well.
Oh well.
And then the downside of that is that I edit it all out, and then there's some things that like don't have continuity because I've edited it out.
And people are like, hang on, what happened?
Yeah. Just trying to hit that balance between easy to follow and like well edited, and then also just actually how things went from one step to another.
Yeah, because I guess if you accidentally take out...
Interesting.
No data.
Auto stop. It stopped streaming.
Reconnection successful. I think it's going to come back on. Hello everyone, can you hear us?
Let me just go to my channel and see if it's still streaming.
I think it might have gone down for a bit.
Okay. It looks like it's still up. Oh, no.
Yeah, it did went down at least temporarily, so let's see if it then picks up. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the stream disconnected briefly, but it doesn't seem to have affected anything.
How weird.
Yeah.
First time experiencing a...
Yeah, I was really
Yes.
hoping today would be the first stream without technical difficulties. But first I didn't have my mic on, which
okay.
that was my bad. And then this,
Well, that's not your fault.
No.
That's just, you know,
that just happens, you know.
happens to the best of them, as they say.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it still says auto stop though. Should I double check?
It does say auto stop.
Hang on, I'll just check on my phone.
Yeah.
You keep doing your thing.
Okay. Is that not what it always says? Maybe that's what it always says.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been yonks, but I remember you from Fencing Club back in 2019.
Oh my goodness.
Happy to see you gotten in with Bad Jelly. Oh, Maxwell. Yeah, I think I remember you.
Yeah.
If this is the same Maxwell I'm remembering.
It
Yeah.
might
Yeah. Yeah, nice to see you around. Yeah, Bad Jelly was so much fun. And fencing was so much fun. That was the good old days. I'm just gonna select this and delete it because I'm gonna have to refill it later. And then I can just erase some of this. And I think I just have to delete that. Good enough for now. Just gonna sculpt this into place. Right, that should be good. And now if I go to this layer, I should be able to draw something like this. Fill it in with the correct color. And then select this and delete it. Alright. Again, I feel like I want to go to the next frame so that I've got the onion skin for this frame. Although, I will just have the reference image. I think I'll go off that instead. So, I just need to delete this and go into draw mode and insert a new keyframe. Alright. On the wrong tool.
Classic.
Perfect. Excuse me. There we go. Well, I may have messed up my camera by rotating things like this. That's right, I'll be able to fix it.
For a second, I thought you meant your actual camera, like.
No, not this camera.
Yeah. I was like, how did you mess that up?
Yeah, no.
And I was like, oh, right. Blender camera.
Exactly.
Hello, Sam Gameverse.
Hello. Thanks for joining in. And then I'm going to want to reset rotation. Yes.
How are we doing? I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm making really good progress on this this project. I'm making a character turnaround. Oh, that's looking a bit odd. But if we go to the other views, yeah. Soon this will be complete and it'll look good.
What's up with that? Wait, go. What? No, go forward. Forward. What's up with that?
What's up with what?
The little. Oh, no, it's fine. Never mind.
Okay.
I thought the dot, the little.
The tuft of hair.
The tuft of hair was in a weird spot, but no, it's not. It's just me being dumb.
Well, no, that's fair. I feel like from this, and I did actually get feedback from this from a coworker,
Okay.
saying like it was a bit strange how the little tuft of hair follows Mickey Mouse ears rules from this frame to this frame, but then not from this frame to this frame. But and I experimented changing it to be more 3D, but then I thought it didn't look good, so I just kept it.
That feels like Mickey Mouse rules. Something's off with that one.
Yeah, when your face is still visible, even though you're turned away.
Well, and like the back of your head becomes your new mustache.
Yeah. How am I going to approach this? Because I've already drawn that part of the hair. So I think I just do this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, oh, actually that needs to extend up even further. Alright.
But yeah, Sam Gameverse, if you're still here, how's your day been?
I followed you years ago, I guess, and I saw you live now. Oh, nice. It's nice to see you back. Yeah.
Well, it's not like he's probably missed
Almost
too
forgot
much.
your channel. Yeah, you haven't actually missed that much. Like I posted a total of 2 videos last year, but I'm hoping to do more this year.
And now that you've started streaming, you seem to be enjoying that, so...
I am enjoying streaming. I don't know, it's a good way to motivate myself to make some progress, and then also sometimes, you know, people come in and they ask interesting questions, and it's nice to interact like that.
Well, it also keeps you actually working on your projects.
It does. Like, I kind of got to the point where I'd done the turnaround for this character, and then I had drawn all the different elements in grease pencil for the front view, and then I kind of lost motivation, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And then live streaming has helped me feel more like I want to actually keep working on it.
So, Sam Gameverse says, yeah, it's a good way to interact with the audience too.
Yes, it is. I've noticed that, especially over the last couple of days. Yeah, it's like you get all the positive feelings from reading nice comments without having to like script or edit a video. It's amazing.
Also, less opportunity for you to procrastinate.
Yes, like when I'm working without streaming, I might just stop for half an hour, because I'm not going to do that if even one person's watching me, you know.
Maxwell says, I got the notification for your bad jelly job and was pleasant, and it was a pleasant reminder of your channel.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reminder, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is always nice when like YouTube notifications end up working out for the better, you know, like when they actually remind you of something that you want to know about.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah.
Or even if it's like not something you usually are into, but it's like just like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'll check it out, or you know.
Yeah. Send you down memory lane kind of thing.
So Sam says, I started this channel for gaming, but for 2 months I didn't upload anything. Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. My last video was on my experience of having my first job in the animation industry. And one of the reasons that was the topic of the video was because I had done like a community poll asking what would you like the topic of my next video to be, and that one won by a long shot. And I did the poll in March and released the video in December.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a thing. So Maxwell then says, don't stop working with the eye emojis. He's looking at you. He's keeping you on task.
Appreciate the accountability.
And Sam says, I'm trying to live stream too, which, you know, I think it's one of those things, if you don't get started and get moving, it can be really easy to be trying to live stream for quite a while, but...
Yeah, I had intended to live stream for so long.
Because you planned to live stream like years ago.
Years ago, yeah. And then just the other day I was like, I'm just gonna boot up OBS and do it and see what happens. And then like hundreds of people saw it overall, with like 30 people all at the same time. It was quite the shock.
Yeah, although it was not at this time of night.
No, I think I've chosen a nice quiet time of day.
Maxwell says, I have a defunct Twitch channel that featuring a VTuber that they made in Microsoft Paint.
Oh, that's cool. That would actually kind of, I don't know, I feel like that would be a cool visual style.
Yeah, it's a stylistic choice.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I've seen streamers where they've got all their like, I don't know, like the framing for all the elements.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like Microsoft Paint. And I like that. That looks cool.
Yeah. Maxwell says he did a couple streams, got like 50 followers, then work got busy and I stopped. Yeah. I mean, that's why Joel didn't post very many videos, isn't it? Like...
And also another reason why I'm trying to do better now, because I'm unemployed, and so what else am I going to do?
So it's interesting that you had to go in and fix those bits, because is that just the fill tool doesn't work very well?
Yeah, I can increase the precision, but then it lags, and I'm like, I'd rather just go in and fill in the details. And then I think it also adds more points, which can lag it later in the process, so I'm actually better to have fewer points and then fix the details.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do wish Blender's fill tool was a little bit better, because I just feel like it could be. You know, I've seen better examples for vector artwork. At the time I was in the USA, right?
Yeah, better hours for getting followers, I think. But Sam says, I tried VTubing too on Twitch, but it's too difficult to be a VTuber. I only have like 20 followers on Twitch.
I know, 20 is pretty good.
Yeah, especially on Twitch, discoverability isn't the easiest thing. Like, isn't the thing that Twitch is known for, is it? Sam says, but on YouTube, I completed 1K last year. Congratulations.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge milestone. I still half the time think that Sketchy has only 20 followers, or maybe like 200. The idea that you have, you know, thousands, kind of, I always forget. Because I still remember
same.
Joel back in the very early days when he was like 13 and just started posting on his YouTube channel.
Doing like stop motion
also,
animations.
fun fact, you can always still find those videos on his YouTube channel. Just scroll all the way to the oldest.
Sometimes I think about deleting them. But then sometimes it's nice to look back and see how far I've come, because they were bad animations. Oh. Alright,
You gotta start somewhere, eh?
I think I just need to redraw the hand. That's pretty good going. I knew that this would speed up as I got to poses that were similar to previous poses.
Yeah, Maxwell says, to talking to Sam, that to be real, he just wanted to make a VTuber, and using it was an afterthought, which honestly, I feel like that's Joel with most of his projects.
I think a lot of my YouTube videos are just me showing like how I made a rig for a character, and then I did like a little walk cycle animation, and then I moved on. I'm not going to do this time though. I'm going to make a cool animation. Yeah.
You're committed now.
I promise.
Sam says, oh yeah, Blender have a lot of new features now. I'm using Blender 4 right now and Photoshop for 2D. Oh, solid.
Yeah, Blender's great. Yeah. If you want to stop paying for Photoshop, Crit is a great tool. That's what I use.
Joel's just trying to proselytize open source.
I love open source software. It's the best software.
You just can't go wrong.
Exactly. Even when the paid software is like actually better, it's like, yeah, but it's not open source, is it?
So it's still not good.
Yeah. So by definition worse.
Although, says the one who uses Windows still.
I know. I've been you know, trying to get onto Linux for so long. And I finally, you know, switched out the Wi-Fi card in my laptop so that I can. And then my sister beat me to it. She's on Linux long before I am.
So Maxwell says, eye emoji will make sure you finish your animation eye emoji. So you've got some accountability for sure now.
Good to know. And I hope to see you around because this is going to take a while.
Book says, what's the most annoying thing about using Blender to you?
That's a good question. Because I love Blender. I want to pretend that there's nothing wrong with it. But let's be real. Every software has problems.
So what's the thing,
I
Joel?
think probably the most annoying thing is it's very systemic. And what I mean by that is you can do almost anything with a very small number of tools. And you just have to know how those tools interact with each other. Whereas in a lot of like closed source software, they'll create that like systemic system of tools, and then they'll like create sub tools on top of that to help you automate a lot of the process. Whereas I think there's a tendency for open source software to say, well, no, that's just like that just makes the software clunky. So we'll just keep it to the bare minimum to allow you to do absolutely anything. And if you want to automate that, that's on you.
Ganapathy says hi. Hi.
Hello.
And then Sam says, I don't know why industry is not using Blender, at least here in India. They then need Photoshop and Illustrator for industry. Yeah, the industry standard still, like even here in New Zealand, is definitely still Photoshop and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And like Maya for...
Yeah, for Maya for 3D, which I don't know, at this point it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I kind of understand why you'd use like Tomboom over like OpenToons or something like that, but... Blender's just as good as Maya.
Sam says, I guess bugs and updates are the problem, because if you are working on a big project and software update, boom, your project now have bugs. That's all from me. Yeah, I guess, but...
I think that's actually a good reason to use open source software, because if you're using a subscription model to Adobe, for example, you can't choose, as far as I'm aware, like you can't just choose to use an older version of a software. It's like, no, that's not the version of the software you're paying for anymore. You're paying for this updated one. Whereas with open source software, you can always go back. Like, I can go and install the oldest version of Blender right now if I want to. I don't want to. I love that they've developed it further, and yeah, and my projects never last long enough to cause bugs due to an update. But yeah, no, I think it's great to use open source software because there's always that everything's open, even the older versions.
And Sam also says, yeah, I use Blender over Maya right now, which, yeah, Joel definitely does.
I approve. Sketchy Squirrel approved software choice.
Book says, Pixar has their own private software so they could change the code and fix the bugs anytime they want.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because like they were kind of the first on the scene for 3D graphics, so they kind of had no choice but to create their own software. However, I think actually they would benefit at this point from open sourcing their software, because if the entire animation community had access to what they were using, then people would get used to it, which would make hiring new people a little bit easier, although you can always hire people who aren't familiar with your software and that'll be fine. But then suddenly you've got this huge community developing your software for free. Like, that's just great. Yeah, so I think they would do well to open source. I think I can't remember what it's called. It's like Pascal or something. I can't remember what the name of their software is, but
Sam says, Adobe have a lot of bugs. I can't use Premiere Pro properly in MacBook. I always need a second option, which is better actually. It's called DaVinci Resolve.
Yes. I don't understand why anyone uses Premiere anymore. DaVinci Resolve is industry standard and it's free to use. It's not open source, which kind of sucks, and that's why I don't use it for editing my videos. Even though I totally should. But yeah, no. DaVinci Resolve is great. But like even like in professional productions with like $1 million budgets, multi-million-dollar budgets, they all just use DaVinci Resolve because it's the best. And even I think the company that makes it also sells like the highest end cameras as well.
Ganapathy says, is this a 2D or 3D model?
This is a 2D model that has multiple views to make it pretend like it's a 3D model. But no, it's totally 2D, although it is living in a 3D space. So you can see how I've got multiple views, but if I rotate around, you can see it's all smoke and mirrors.
So Ganapathy asks, how is it rotating 360? And so you've just been drawing each
basically. So I've got a bunch of different grease pencil objects, which you can see in this outliner here. And you can see how everything's separated into its own object. And then I have this armature system, which if I go into pose mode, allows me to move and rotate all the different parts of the rig. And that's basically how 2D cutout animation works. But then, on every frame, I move the bones into place, and then I redraw every object of the grease pencil, and so that it looks like he's suddenly turned a little bit, and then turned a little bit more, and then turned a little bit more, and a little bit more.
And so you're going to be doing a tutorial on this, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
And so then Sam says, no, it's free. DaVinci has two versions. One is free and the second is premium, one-time payment.
I didn't know about the paid version.
And
okay.
So Sam uses
but a one-time
one.
payment, that's pretty good going these days. I feel like there's a growing tendency to use subscription models, and everyone hates subscription models. So it's good to have that kind of, you buy the license to the software, and then you have the software.
Vuk says, what's the best thing about Grease Pencil?
What's the best thing about Grease Pencil? In a lot of ways, it's kind of a so-so tool, but then what it does really well is it interacts with the 3D features of Blender. So, you know how earlier I was rotating around, I can also like move them back and forth, and every line can move through 3D space, which is really good for really good for when you want to mix 2D and 3D. For example, in the latest Spider-Verse movie, they used a lot of Grease Pencil to add some of their frame-by-frame effects because they wanted it to exist in the 3D scene, but they still wanted to draw it by hand. And so that was really cool.
Yep, and then Sam says to Ganapathy, it's Blender, so you can rotate. That's the Blender's ability.
Yeah,
and it can only
exactly.
happen in Blender.
Yeah. So basically, the advantage to Grease Pencil is it's a great drawing tool that exists in a 3D space.
Yeah, best of both worlds, would you say?
Yeah, best of both worlds. In fact, yeah, actually, I think I said during my last stream that the advantage of Blender is that, for example, in a 2D software, you might create a 2D system that tries to emulate 3D. But then in something like Maya, where you're doing 3D, you might go photorealistic, but you also might choose to do a stylized thing where you've got 3D models that you're trying to make it look 2D. And what's great about Blender is you've got all the features of the 3D, where you're coming from 3D trying to make it look 2D, and you got all the features from 2D, and you can try and make that look 3D, and you just got so many options depending on what the project needs, and you can mix them really well.
So Vuk says, how much do you think the geometry nodes implementation in 4.3 could benefit 2D rigging?
Oh, I don't think anyone's even scratched the surface. Because Grease Pencil is now integrated into geometry nodes, I really regret not learning how to use geometry nodes earlier, because I think it's a game changer. For example, I think have you heard of the recent tool made by Daniel Martinez Lara called Clay Pencil? It basically means you can draw Grease Pencil objects, and then it converts it into these 3D meshes, which allows you to basically draw a 3D animation frame by frame, which I think is incredible. And I don't even think that this is like a fancy new feature or even an add-on. It's just a geometry node setup. And so anyone could do it, hypothetically, if you're smart enough. But yeah, I think that's going to be pretty incredible, and I should really learn how to use geometry nodes. Seems to have disconnected again. Reconnection successful. Okay.
Sorry, we dropped out there for a
Yeah.
second. Hopefully we're back.
So yes, geometry nodes with Grease Pencil is new to Blender 4.3. They totally rewrote Grease Pencil from scratch, basically, to add some new features. Like, it's a little bit more optimized. The layers, you can group layers, which is pretty cool. But then yes, also geometry nodes, you can interact with Grease Pencil. It's pretty cool.
And then Delapathy says, I started learning Grease Pencil animation, then decided to move to 3D, as Grease Pencil demands more work than 3D.
Oh. I don't know if that's true. I guess it depends. Are you doing like frame by frame animation with Grease Pencil? Because in that case, yes. And in a sense, also yes. Like, for example, I'm spending so long rotating this character, and obviously you get that for free with 3D animation. However, yeah, I don't know if I would say 3D is easier than Grease Pencil, because there's just so much you can learn in 3D. I think it might be a bit more approachable. Like, you can start really simple and add concepts as you go, until you kind of have a better understanding of things. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check if our audio is still working. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, audio's still working.
Yeah, and Sam very helpfully says that we're back, so we appreciate that.
Cool.
Yeah. Cute.
Oh, so close. In fact, hang on. Alright. So, I just need to move this over here. And maybe delete this. Oh no, I didn't have a keyframe on that frame, so it doesn't have one here either. Cool.
And what about the hair? Do you think the hair is right?
No, it's not, so I'm going to have to redraw the hair. But everything else looks pretty good. Is the mustache right? The mustache is not right. Let me fix the mustache. I think I just need to flip it and then sculpt it. Now I kind of feel a bit strange about the arms because here's the thing. This arm that technically goes to the other side of the body on that frame, but I don't see that being a problem.
Yeah, I guess because if you're using that...
Yeah, because I feel like if you're going to flip to a new view, yeah, I don't think that's going to cause problems.
Cause problem if it was already in motion? No.
Well, yeah, so it'd be like interpolation. But then you're already going to have a problem going from this frame to this frame because I've flipped the whole character. So it's going to already like scale and flip. Which, like, when I was working on Bad Jelly with Tomboom, that happened all the time and you just had to manually go through and make sure things flipped at the right time.
Kanabati asks, are you self-taught or having any art background?
Originally I was self-taught. Most of what I know in Blender is self-taught. But I did do a Bachelor of Animation at UB College. And now I have about a year of professional experience working on a TV show.
And then Maidenless asks, why does your screen look like that? Now...
My screen?
What do you mean?
What do you mean by like that? Am I having like a stream issue where like there's something wrong with my screen, or is it just...
Joel set up a
Are
blender,
you talking about the bones?
Sam says, I didn't mention, do you know this YouTube channel, Joyce Ann Anatomy?
Joyce Ann Anatomy. No, I don't think I have. I'm just gonna... could you look that up? I love art YouTube channels, especially ones about anatomy, because anatomy's hard.
Yes, the aspect ratio.
Yes, this is the most annoying thing. The tablet I'm using is not 16 by 9. I don't know why they would make it like that, but they haven't. So I've added a little self-portrait in the corner of my stream, just to kind of hide part of the black bar.
I think they meant Joyce Ann Anthony, who's a self-taught digital artist. So...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, seems to have some cool videos.
I have seen one of her videos, at least. I think I may have seen that one as well.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen a few of her videos. She does some cool stuff.
Then Vuk says, what rigging feature from Toonboom would you like to see in Grease Pencil? I
think I mentioned this yesterday, but actually, it's worth repeating. I'm gonna go to my full camera because I'm about to have a little rant. Okay, in Tomboom, the way that the drawing objects are structured is you have the object, and that contains two sets of like data. It has a list of drawings, and then it has the keyframes on the timeline that tell it when to switch to which drawing. Which is really cool because it means you can reuse drawings, and then when you update one, it updates it throughout the animation. But then it's still really easy to add new drawings or like duplicate a drawing and change it slightly without it affecting the original. However, in Blender, you kind of have two options. Either you just use grease pencil keyframes like normal, and you just create a new frame on a new drawing on the frame where you want it to switch, and that's a new drawing. Now you can duplicate that drawing and have it reappear somewhere else, but ultimately it's a duplicate, not two keyframes pointing to the same drawing, if that makes sense. So what I mean is if you change one drawing, it only changes one drawing. It doesn't affect the duplicate. Or you can go down another route where you have all your drawings one by one after another right at the beginning of your timeline, and then you use a time offset modifier, which allows you to have a slider saying, and you can animate that slider to say, okay, on frame 1, I want you to display frame 10 of the object. And then on frame 74, I want you to display frame 3, etc., etc. Which means you kind of have to choose between those two systems because it's really difficult to... And so what I mean is, with that system, it becomes difficult. It becomes really easy for like lip syncing, but then if you want to add a new mouth shape, it becomes difficult. Whereas the way Tomboom works is it allows you to do lip syncing really easily, and you can add new drawings really easily. I don't know if I explained that very well, but yes, I think...
But he feels passionate.
I feel passionate about it. I feel like if Grease Pencil had the ability to separate the keyframes and the drawings, then that would add a lot of functionality, especially for what I'm doing right now with this sort of character that turns around.
Okay, so we've got a couple of questions coming in. I learned Grease Pencil. So Sam says that he learned Grease Pencil from you and Joyce and Anthony, and then laughs at himself for getting it and anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
Maxwell says you could fill the aspect ratio with baked beans. No one will know.
That's a good idea. Maybe next time. Next time I'll have baked beans.
And then Sam says, "Oh, that crack sound," which I'm pretty sure was when you cracked your knuckles.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I do that. I also crack my neck, and it's really loud, and people find it gross. I'm sorry.
I think it might have been a good I can't tell.
Oh, yeah, like a satisfying crack. Yeah, that's one of two reactions that I get from people.
And then Mitt says, "Does Grease Pencil have shaped keys?"
Last time I checked, the answer was no, but actually they've, again, like I mentioned before, they've rewritten all of Grease Pencil to be more like meshes. So let me just have a look-see. I know it'll be in here if they do. They've got vertex groups, animation. What's...
You're like,
Whoa,
is this?
What is this? No, that must be just for its like position, rotation, and scale.
Yeah.
No, but then it isn't the data thing. That would be in the object properties, right? Hang on. I'm going to need to do some experimenting with this off stream. But this might be game changing.
Okay, and then...
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does have shape keys, which is annoying because like that would be really cool.
Ganapathy says, last question, what's your opinion on AI? Are you worried that AI makes our hard work less appreciated by people, easily comparing our works with that?
I have nuanced views on AI. On one hand, I don't like it because, you know, there are ethical implications that, you know, many other people online have brought up. And I don't like how it automates everything, especially automates the things that I enjoy most. You know, there's that classic meme among 3D artists where it's like, I wanted AI to do UV unwrapping and retopology. I don't want to UV unwrap and retopologize a model that was generated by AI. But then also, how it's going to affect the industry, I honestly don't know. I think best case scenario, it replaces all the generic, really low quality animations, and then because a bunch of places that are like promoting scans and such are using that, then suddenly high quality, highly curated, highly customized animation becomes the commodity, you know, and we will get to keep our jobs. That's what I'm hoping for, but you know, we'll see. I think worst case scenario, it's going to become a tool that is used in the creative process, and I think that will mean that one person is going to be able to make more content, which can be a positive thing, but then at the same time it can mean, there are less jobs going around. Kind of like how there are fewer entry-level jobs because of tools like Tomboom and Blender than there were when every frame of a movie had to be drawn by a separate hundreds of people.
And then Cervello says, nice rant.
Ah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so that... Is it okay that that's flipped? What does this part look like? Oh, good, it is flipped. Nice. I don't need to worry about that. That's perfect.
Alright, I might head out now, Joel.
Alright. I love you.
You can either take me off your title or
leave
me in if you want.
I should do that. I don't know how to. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I can do it from my channel.
Yeah, maybe leave it.
I'll leave it.
You can just answer questions
if
when
people ask, what are you talking about? The title saying about my sister. What are you talking about?
Anyway, it's been nice hanging out with people that are still here, and those who aren't. It was also nice hanging out with you guys.
Do you want me to walk you out?
No, I'll be fine.
I can say, I'll be right back.
No, it's all good. Alright. By the way, Sam asked a question.
Oh, yeah. So what's the story behind this character? What's the thinking? Okay. So I ever since I was working on Bad Jelly on the TV show using Tomboom, I've started to think about some different ways that I could rig characters in Blender. And so I did some experiments, and I think I'm onto something. I think it's going to be good. Sam says bye.
Oh, bye!
So I think I'm onto something. So I've decided I'm going to do a tutorial. So this character is just an isolated character for a tutorial project. I'm definitely going to do some sort of animation with it. I'm thinking some sort of dance trend or something, because I don't know, I feel like a dance would do a good job at showing off his ability to turn around.
But he is taking suggestions, so if you have any good suggestions for what he should do.
If you have any ideas on what he should do for any animation. Yeah, I've heard people say that he looks like Nikola Tesla. And I've heard people say he reminds them of Don't Starve, the video game.
Yeah, that's fair.
And honestly, I see it. I see that. So if that sparks anything, yeah, let me know. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to redraw this face. That's annoying. That'll be alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye for real.
Goodbye. See you soon. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, so I just got here. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to insert a blank keyframe on all layers. Okay, and then on the line work layer, I'm going to use the ink material. Let's get started. All right. Sister, okay, got it. Yeah, that's my sister. How does it do it over here? Okay. Good to know. I should have used a more symmetrical character. I wouldn't have to do so many drawings, because I could just flip previous views. something where he has to walk around a limited space. You know, maybe he's like a mime traps him in a box, an invisible box or something. That could be fun. Yo, what up, fellow retake artist? Hi, Nathan. That's Nathan is not animating. You should check out his channel. He makes some cool animations. Way more creative than I am. I think he just recently posted one. That's like the pilot episode for a show he's making called The Squad. I helped with some of the fire animations. Yeah. And by that I don't mean animations that are really good. I mean like visual effects of fire. Something what here? Oh, I didn't. Yeah, thanks, Mal. So I didn't see your previous comment. He doesn't look like a barista, but I think an interesting way of displaying the rotating ability would be him taking a coffee order and turning around to operate a machine. That's a really good idea because it's so simple. It'll only involve one character and it kind of tells a story. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, the other retake artist, yeah. It's a shame where everyone's unemployed now. To go back to the good old days working on Bad Jelly. On one hand, I love that it's out, you know, in the world for people to see, but on the other hand, I would honestly just prefer to keep working on it. So hoping for season 2, get the best of both worlds. Alright, bye Sam. It was nice having you around. Nice chatting. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Maybe. You just became unemployed too? Yeah, it sucks. Used to be a chef at a pub. Was that fun? I mean, I feel like on one hand that could be kind of cool. It's like you know, you're cooking food all day. That could be fun. But then at the same time, it's like you gotta. That sounds really hectic and busy. Since geometry nodes can create 3D smear frames, maybe it's possible they could create 2D smears for a grease pencil rig. Yeah, that would be a cool use of geometry nodes. It'd be interesting though, because I feel like, I guess if it can do it for 3D, then it doesn't matter that like the armature's influencing the rig. Like it would still work. Cool people, good environment, but I couldn't keep up too well and got warnings over the years. Yeah, that's a shame. If you go with the dance idea, something like the other side of The Greatest Showman, the other side. I forget which song that is. But yeah, I like the idea of using the Greatest Showman because, you know what? He fits the vibe. He's definitely Greatest Showman fashion and hair. I'm sorry, Maxwell. Yeah, it sucks to get fired, especially from a job you enjoy with people that are cool. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Kind of needed a break, and I wasn't really learning anything after 2.5 years. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like by the time I got to the end of on working on Bad Jelly, I was also like a little bit burnt out. But I've at least in my experience, I've burnt out of being unemployed so much faster than I burnt out of being an animator. No hard feelings between you and boss. Yeah, that's good. That's always nice. Is that all? Oh, that's going to need some adjustment. That's going to need a lot of adjustment. Hang on. Yeah, undo all that color. I need to move that all the way in. Yep, that'll be better. Alright, now I can fill in the colors properly. Oh, I think I forgot about this part before. Alright, there we go. Oh, interesting. The eye looks a little off now. Have to adjust it. Oh, that's not the right bone. Right. What are some tips you would give to anyone wanting to start an animation tutorial channel? That's a good question. I guess, like, be kind to yourself. You're gonna receive a lot of criticism, and, like, you're gonna find that there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, that's really helpful," and then there's also a lot of people saying, "Oh, that was too difficult to follow," or like, I want a tutorial on this topic that maybe is like a little bit outside your wheelhouse, and like, it's even if most of the comments are like really appreciative and like saying, yeah, this was really helpful for me, it's really easy to latch onto the comments that are like showing that they're not quite satisfied with what you're doing. So, you know, just be kind to yourself, take on feedback, but, you know, also don't feel like you owe anyone anything in that sense, you know, like, just make the tutorials that you feel like you've got something to say, you know. Glad you're back. I appreciate it. Ayo dude, where have you been? It's been a while. I've never seen your vids. Yeah, no, you might think it's just because the algorithm buried my channel. No, it's because I haven't published anything in a while. I published 2 videos in 2024. I'm gonna do better this year. That's the plan. So yeah, I am back, and it's nice to be back. You should shamelessly plug your own channel as a starter tutorial channel. Yes, actually, that's the tip. If you're starting a new tutorial channel, you need to advertise Sketchy Squirrel. Otherwise, you're just bound for failure. I think I'm going to adjust this tuft of hair to better fit the drawing. Right, there we go. I think that's it. Oh man, these legs are way off. Hang on. I think I want to duplicate these. Yes. And same with this. Yeah. And same with this. Yeah. Why didn't that copy over before? Oh, that didn't copy over because I didn't actually have a keyframe there. Right. Oh wait. No, I did have a keyframe there. Oh wait, I've copied the wrong frame. No, I did copy it all correctly. I just didn't have the layer order correct. Because in the previous angle, his leg was, his foot was behind his leg, but here, oh no. No, I'm getting this all wrong. I'm getting all confused. I just need to copy these frames. And it doesn't have a frame on every object. That's why it looks weird. Okay, that needs this duplicated, just like I was doing before. Okay. Well, that didn't seem to copy over well. Because it's the other leg. Ah, okay. Okay, so I just need to select these, copy that, select these, and paste. Sorry, paste. Yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to look right. I need to do the same thing up here. Copy. Well, hang on. Why is that? Why does that work? But then this one, no, that's right. Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm tired, but I'm getting confused over things that are making perfect sense. Yep, no, everything's working right. I don't know what I was complaining about. Is this foot right? That's alright. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna duplicate the side view now over to here, over frame 7. And then on the rig, I'm just going to take the rig bone and just flip it. Wait, why did... Oh, it's because I duplicated... Ah, that's annoying. Alright. Alright. So I think here I need to redraw the head and the little hair tuft. And I think that's it. Oh, I just realized that the way that the button layers over flips on that last angle. So I need to be careful not to do that. The rig is looking really good so far. Thank you, Minty Marsh. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Do you think Grease Pencil Sculpt mode could be useful for animating with Grease Pencil rigs? In the past, I would have said no. Now I would say yes. So in the past, the way that I did... sorry, I'm going to do another little rant. So in the past, the way that I would rig a character was I'd have the Grease Pencil object and I'd have the armature. And the way I'd connect those is using weight painting. So that it would basically say every point on the Grease Pencil object correlates to this bone, right? With this strength. Now, then, because of that, whenever you create like a new drawing, it becomes unlinked from the bone. So I would generally try and leave the Grease Pencil object alone and animate only the bone. However, if you want like a smear frame or something, you might want to use Sculpt mode. Now, actually, thinking about it now, I don't see a reason why that wouldn't work with that method, because rather than creating a new drawing, it's actually a duplicate drawing, and so all the vertices would still be attached to the correct bones. However, I just always tried to not touch the Grease Pencil objects. However, I realized that was limiting me. So with this new method, every Grease Pencil object is directly parented to a bone. And that means when you draw a new frame, it's still parented to the bone. And in this case, and I think the real power of this is that you have a huge amount of flexibility in redrawing the object whenever you need to. You get to edit it in edit mode whenever you need to. And yes, sculpt mode especially, that's super helpful for getting things to line up correctly, just the way you want. Yeah. Frolic, you back? Yes, I'm back. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this. Here we go. Oh no, I did this wrong. Oh no, wait. It's okay. I can select this and then oh no. Alright, here we go. Now I just need to ink this. Here we go. think I've changed this too much. What happens if I do this? Oh, that looks bad. That's what happens. Alright. Alright, there we go. Do I have my water bottle? Yeah, I do. Just a moment. Just a little parched, as they say. Nate is a nice guy, making great progress. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sometimes it feels a bit slow, but I'm getting there. What time is it? Oh my goodness, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm probably going to finish up this this view, this side view here, and then I'm going to call it a day. Oh, don't know how good that looks in the end. Let's try it though. Alright, here we go. There we go. Now I'll just trim that off. Alright, and trim that. And ooh, I'll turn on keep cat for this. I'll trim. There we go. Start streaming at 8:30, get surprised when it's 10. Yeah, that's fair. It's just you know, the first time I streamed, it was at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the second time I streamed it was 6 in the morning. Here I am on the third time, and you know, I had a full day, and now, yeah. Maybe I did leave it a bit late, but at the same time, I'm glad I'm making progress. Love the consistency. Yes, very consistent. I'm justifying it by saying I'm experimenting to see when the best time to stream is. But to be honest, I'm just streaming when I want to, which is fine. However, the experimenting's been, you know, reasonably fruitful. I've found that 8 o'clock in the evening is not a good time to stream, because I mean, you know, it's been lovely, but I'm a bit more tired than I usually am, and I'm not getting quite as many views. But it is nice to still have the people who are here, you know. Alright. And then I think this goes like this. Consistently inconsistent, exactly. Got to keep them guessing, as they say. I suspect if you stream this late, then you aren't wasting precious daylight hours. Yeah, that's true, right? It's like, I'm not really, what else would I be doing at this time of day? Not much. Could I pull my mic a bit closer? Yeah, let me try. Hang on. Just pulling it over my light. Oh, that's not good. Hang on. Just gonna rearrange things a little bit. Alright, is that better? Man, this way, what, wait, sorry. I'm getting a bit tired, struggling to read. Man, this way, what you doing? What do you will control both grease pencil and bones rotations? Yes, so that's kind of what I think is beautiful about this new way that I'm rigging things. Is in the past I basically had a grease pencil object with a static drawing, and then I tried to only animate the bones, which was just really limiting. So the other extreme of that is to just have one grease pencil object and you just do a frame by frame animation, which is not limiting at all. You can do absolutely anything, but it's really time consuming. And so by setting up the rig in a way that means most of the animation can be done by rotating and moving the bones, and then the details can look right by just redrawing the grease pencil objects or warping them or distorting them in some way, then I get maximum flexibility and maximum efficiency. It's not too time consuming to make an animation because most of the animation is done by the bones, but also I can do whatever I want, because if I need something to be outside what the bones can give me, I've built it in a way that's really easy to add a new drawing to the grease pencil object. Oh. Now on the color layer, I'm just gonna add this so that when I take the hair base and fill it in, I can go back and delete that. All right. This is awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I think just the skin, is it? And now, oh, that's annoying. Alright, let me undo all that. I should have thought that through. Alright, here we go. Okay, on this color layer, I'm gonna put that there. Now I'm gonna cut that, and I'm also gonna cut. Oh, that did not work well. What happened? Why didn't? Oh, okay. Okay. Let me do that again on the ink layer. Draw that here. Then cut that, cut that, cut that, and cut that. Okay. That is what I want, no? No. Yes? No. No. Wait. Okay. I want this line to follow that. Okay. Perfect. Right, now I can fill in all the colors. Alright, there we go. Is that it? Is that really it? I think it is, except this didn't copy properly, I don't think. Yeah, it didn't. Alright. Got to duplicate that. There we go. Alright, perfect. And that hand doesn't seem right either. I think, again, there was no keyframe on that frame, so there we go. How about this? Did? Okay, good. Alright. Oh, I feel weird because on one hand... Oh, hang on. You have a good night, mate. I'm heading out. Alright, see you, Nathan. It was nice to chat briefly. How do you adjust the grease pencil after animating the bones? Won't the bone weight paint hinder you? Yes, but that's why I don't use weight painting anymore. So sometimes weight painting can be useful because it can make smooth transitions between bones. But actually you don't need it. I think it's a little overrated, or at least I've overrated it in the past. So the way that this character is rigged is using just parenting the grease pencil object directly to the bone. And that means, yes, there's no like smooth transformations, but actually for this character, I don't really need them, and if I do, I can create that with just warping the grease pencil object. Another test character I did recently, I couldn't just use totally parenting an object to the bone because I had an eye with a pupil inside, and the pupil had to be masked to the eye, but they also had to be on separate bones. And in that case, right, I have to use weight painting, but actually no, you can actually parent individual grease pencil layers to specific bones. And so again, you're not going to run into any troubles if you try and redraw it and then it suddenly becomes disattached from the bone because the weight painting didn't carry over. So yeah, basically I'm trying to set it up in a way that if I draw a new drawing on a grease pencil object, that will still be attached to the bone that I want it to be. And then also, the ways that I would edit it is I would either use edit mode with proportional editing, or I'd redraw it, or there's this really cool tool. If I just go into edit mode, and then I press N, if you enable the grease pencil tools add-on, you can select everything, and then use the box deform tool, which creates basically a temporary lattice, which allows you to skew things and warp things. You can press Control up to increase vertical subdivisions, so you can add more detail, and you can press Control right to add vertical subdivisions to add more detail, and then you can press Control down or left to remove those subdivisions. And then you just press Enter, and it's a new drawing. I'm going to undo all that though, because I don't want to have a new drawing. Yeah, so there's some... in my last video right at the end, I've got like a fan animation of Bad Jelly that I made in Blender, and I used a lot of these techniques, and I think it's probably the most dynamic animation I've ever done in Blender, at least with Grease Pencil. Yes, exactly. Flexibility of frame by frame and tweening with bones. That's exactly right. In fact, part of the reason that I came up with this system was because I had been using Tomboom, and they kind of have a similar approach with rigging. But then another thing I saw a TV show for children on TVNZ. I think it was called Smarty Pants. And I was really fascinated by the animation style because it was basically like it was clearly rigged. So for example, the entire arm was rotating around a pivot point, but then they would just like switch between drawings so frequently. And I thought, yeah, exactly like you're saying, flexibility of frame by frame and the tweening. And it's like the tweening takes you 80% there, and then you've got frame by frame to get the rest of the 20%. Whereas in the past, I was trying to get the rig 100% there. It would only get 90% there. And then I locked myself in a corner and I couldn't get the last 10%, even with changing grease pencil stuff. Alright, here we go. Oh, yeah, I feel weird, because on one hand, I just said earlier I'm going to finish this view, and then I'm going to go to bed. But I've only got one more view. I don't want to, like, do another stream that's only one more view. I'm just going to do another view. They've been faster now that they're, like, duplicates of other views with slight alterations. So I should be able to just select everything and duplicate it to view number 8. Oh, that didn't work. What's wrong with that? I need to deselect this. That's one thing. That's for sure. So what was that? Why didn't that work? Oh, it seems to only... It seems to have only copied the bone keyframes, none of the grease pencil keyframes. Let me just add these in. Hang on. If I just select all the grease pencil objects, and I select this, and I go, I just duplicate it over to frame 8. Okay, maybe. Oh no, he copied everything but the bone keyframes. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And once again, I think all that needs to be changed is the hair. And I think also the waistcoat. In my actual drawing, it looks right, but then I realize now that actually it's flipped from the original. So I need to flip that around again. I won't do that in the reference image, but I will do that in the grease pencil. Alright, so it's just... Oh, did I not update this? I didn't update this. Hang on. Do I have a better view? That looks good. I might duplicate that. Or even just delete that. Yeah, there we go. Or even move that back. Because that looks good. Alright. Even back here. No, I think I'll keep it like that. But maybe I should reduce its size a little bit. Alright. Do you use drivers for central controller? Oh wait, hang on. So I missed a couple things. Yeah, sure, why not? Quite the pickle. Right. You can you show it animated? Oh, do you mean? Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Look at that go! It almost looks 3D. I mean, only because it's going so fast. But if I reduce the frame rate. If I say custom frame rate 12 frames per second. Oh, I need to reduce that by 1 frame, I reckon. Yeah, there we go. Look at him go! Spinning around. Sorry, okay. Can you show animated? Did you pitch such workflow to the studio? That seems super duper helpful. No, partly because I just want to prove myself in the workflow that's established. Partly because this is actually my first experiment with this workflow, so I didn't have the confidence to know if it would work, and also I knew that nobody would want to learn a new software. Like, most of the animators who were at the studio already had spent most of their careers animating in Adobe Flash, rather than Tomboom, and then they learnt Tomboom specifically for this project. And I just don't think that the idea of switching to another program that they'd have to all learn, that's never been tested elsewhere by another studio. I just don't. I just didn't want to pitch it. Do you use drivers for central controller? I haven't used drivers yet. I think drivers are a great tool for rigging. But they're very flexible, but they're very much just like solving very specific problems, you know. So I haven't come across anything that I need a driver for yet. But yeah, no, they're very helpful, very worthwhile learning how to use. Do you think your studio would ever use Blender this way? It's hard to say. I know that the financial incentive is strong because, you know, Tomboom is so expensive. I mean, even just one license of Tomboom is really expensive, and you have to pay it every month or every year. And if you want to have a license for every animator in the studio, that really adds up quickly. Meanwhile, you've got other options, like I know they've considered using Moho, because that's a great 2D cutout animation tool, and it's just a one-time payment for the license, but even then it's like $400 US. So, you know, Blender, it's free forever for everyone. You know, it's great. I just don't know if... I think I kind of said earlier about one of the frustrating things about when someone asked me what's the worst part about Blender, and I just said how it gives you a lot of the tool, like a couple, like the minimal number of tools to allow you to do anything in the world, anything you could possibly imagine. But then it leaves all the automation up to you. Like it means that it's very systemic in the way that things interact with each other, but it can make certain tasks pretty tedious. And I think with 2D rigging, it's definitely in that space. I think with a little bit of development from add-ons and from the Blender developers specifically, I think Blender could get to a place where it can be used professionally, and the studio I was working at, might even consider it. I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there because the quality of life features aren't there for 2D animation. No one else in the industry has used it for 2D cutout animation. You know, it would just be a huge risk. So I don't know if they would ever use it. I want to see you using this character in animation. I'm curious about how this works, how this will work. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous because I've now sunk so much time into it. But that's why I've shown this a few times in previous streams, but that's why I made like a little demo. If I go to the demo, it's just three bones in this rig, 2 grease pencil objects, but basically it allows me to do animations like that where they actually turn around. So I'm hoping that'll carry over to the more complicated character. I am encouraged when one of you asked me to press play on the animation. I was like, actually, you know what? It's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think it looks like a 2D cutout character. Oh, sorry, I'm getting dizzy. I've missed so many things. All right. I also use I would too. Fuck yes. I'm gonna animate it. I know Maxwell had the great idea of him like being like a barista or a bartender maybe. I think bartender fits his design a bit better, so I think I might do that because that would be an animation that demonstrates the turning around. Yeah. Getting dizzy. Yes, I've paused it. Change is scary and hard. Yeah, it is. Exactly. Especially for big studios, because it's like you get $1 million for funding, right? And you gotta finish this project. Your software choice might make or break whether you're able to finish it on time. Um, and then also it affects like your budget as well. Um, I use your add-on to rig my stuff, by the way. Thanks. Oh, that's so good to hear. You don't often hear about people like I don't know how often people are actually using the add-on, but since I started streaming, I've heard a few people say that they've used it, and that makes me super happy. I'm glad that people are finding it useful. Oh, Frolic, yeah, me too. I think you mentioned, but yeah, no, I'm so glad that it's been helpful. This is nice. Any idea when you're next streaming? Not exactly. I'm hoping to stream sometime tomorrow morning, but we'll see. Smartbones add-on is a lifesaver. Oh, thanks. That would be a cool stream, seeing you animate a scene. Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm really liking that bartender scene idea, but then I also think I should do some sort of dance because, dancers do well on social media, I'm told. And yeah, I think that'd be cool. I need some more water. All right. Oh, that looks weird. Oh, it's because the eye didn't copy properly, of course. Hang on, let me just duplicate that. There we go. Okay, so what does this need? Okay, this needs this to be out of the way. Like over here. And behind the head, perfect. And then it also just needs a new drawing for the head. And I need to flip the mustache. Oh, I think I might use the box deform tool because the perspective is warping it. So when I flip it, it'll be reversed perspective. Yeah, exactly. So I have to box deform, and then I go control right, and then I can select this part and move it this way. Actually, maybe I did that too soon. I should scale this up first, and then scale that down, and then I can add the subdivision, which will allow me to shift it over here and scale it to fit the perspective. Alright, there we go. And now I'm just going to warp Sculpt into place. Oh! No, it was already flipped! Oh, what was I thinking? Yeah, no, it was already flipped. I thought I was doing some clever solution to a problem that didn't exist. Hello, new to your channel. This is fascinating using Blender grease pencil similar to Moho. Yeah, exactly. My experience is my background is with Moho, and that really influenced how I started rigging in Blender. But now I've had about a year of experience using Tomboom on a TV show, and that's now changing how I'm rigging again. So I'm really excited to see how things go forward. That's why the nose isn't looking right. It's because it didn't have a color layer originally, so I just need to delete that. There we go. Alright. Well, that's still looking a bit weird. I need to edit this mustache a little bit. Alright. A cliche animation meme, music, and have him bounce his head and grow evil. I don't know if I'm familiar with that cliche animation meme. But yeah, I think I see what you mean. I think I think what I really want is something that shows off his ability to turn around. So if I could do that with him turning around as he goes. Very few videos of people using 3D to make 2D, or very few videos of people using 3D to make 2D, or mixing both. Seeing a lot more NPR, especially after Spider-Verse. Yes, I think this is where Blender really shines, right? I think a lot of software is so specialized that you can kind of only do one thing, and then you have to mix it with all these different other software that it's not super compatible with. So like Maya's, for example, Maya's really good for 3D animation. But if you want to do NPR rendering, it's gonna be tricky. Like you can do it, but it's kind of tricky. Whereas Blender's great because you got Grease Pencil, you got a shader editor, you got a render engine, you got compositing all in one place, and it allows you to just really quickly make really cool, stylized animations. Even if you're just working alone, yeah, it's awesome. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock. Gotta go to bed. I think I'm almost done though. Alright, I gotta, as the kids say, I've got to lock in and redraw this face. Flow was made in Blender, the cat movie. Yes, I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm really excited to see it, but I've been so happy about how popular it's been and that Blender was used to make it. Yeah, and yeah, I think it's a really good sign for it. From what I understand, it was made like by a pretty small group of people, and maybe I'm getting that wrong, but I think that's really exciting for the future of animation. The idea that very few people can make something that's really incredible and like will win lots of awards and that sort of thing. And for so cheap because Blender's free. Flow is a Latvian film. Yes, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it eventually. I'll get there at some point. Yeah. I've heard really good things. Let me just check something. So yeah. Give you something more interesting to look at. Alright. I just wanna go to this. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove the part on the title of this stream that says "with my sister." Oh no, maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna Undo changes. All right. Right, where was I? I was here. Okay. Yep, pretty happy with this, how this is coming along. I'm gonna start over here. If you stream animating this, will this be tomorrow in New Zealand time, GMT +13? What time are you thinking? I don't know. I was hoping to go to bed at 10 o'clock so that I could wake up at around 6 or 7. But now it's almost 11. And I still haven't gone to bed. So I'm thinking sometime tomorrow morning, maybe 10 o'clock. I'm also not sure if I'm going to be animating this on my next stream. Maybe, but maybe not. I might be making like the animatic. Like maybe some, like I'll sketch out some ideas. Enjoy sleeping at some point, yeah. Oh yeah, I think I read that before. Very cool, a beginner with Moho here, never used Tomboom. Realized Tomboom seems more popular in studios. Would be interested how you'd compare the two. Later if you're busy and sleepy. Yeah, no, I mean I'm happy to talk. I'll try and also keep working on this so I can eventually get to sleep. But yeah, I feel uncomfortable comparing software to too directly, because ultimately Tomboom is not Moho, Moho is not Tomboom. They do different things, and there's room enough in the industry for both of them. However, personally, and they're both great tools, but personally, I think I like Tomboom a little bit better. Maybe that's just because when I was using Moho, I didn't know as much as I do now about animation in general, and so all my Moho animations are so much worse than my Tomboom animations. But I think I just love the node editor in Tomboom. I love the rigging system, and like the timeline. There are a lot of things in Moho that I prefer. Like actually the way keyframes work. Honestly, Moho did a great job. Then there are a few things that I really like about Moho over Tomboom, but I think as a general rule, I just prefer the workflow of Tomboom a little bit better. But again, that might just be because I was a better animator when I was using Tomboom than when I was using Moho. I think if you can, I know you said you're very new to Moho. I think if you can, I would definitely recommend playing around with Tomboom. I think there's like a 30-day free trial. Yeah, or if you start doing like an animation course at a university, they'll probably give you access to a Tomboom license. In that case, I think I probably regret not taking advantage of that when I was at university. Because I think at the time I thought all the jobs are in 3D animation, so I was focusing on that. But I realized actually no, there's lots of jobs in 2D, and a lot of them are in Tomboom. So I kind of wish I'd focused a little bit more on Tomboom while I had free access to it. But no, it worked out well. I learned a lot while working in the industry. But I think ultimately what you should focus on is learning the fundamentals of animation. And you can do that in Moho, you can do that in Tomboom. that's not a problem. And that's what's going to get you a job, you know? Like, for example, when I got my job where I was using Tomboom, I had never used it before. In fact, and then also a lot of the Moho stuff, I had originally put it into my showreel, but my showreel was too long, and when I cut it down, I realized, oh, I only have Blender stuff in my showreel now. So yeah, it's like I got a job using Tomboom with my Blender work. I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so don't worry too much about software. I would definitely recommend learning Tomboom if you have the opportunity, but don't break the bank just because it's industry standard right now. Thanks for the stream. Life is but a dream. Good night. Alright, good night, Savella Navola. I appreciate it. Am I on the right layer? I am on the right layer. It's okay. Might not solve your problems, but I'll show you how strong we are. That's the thing about me. Alright, is that it? Did I do it? Is this rig finished? I think it is. Alright, let me hide the background. Let me reduce the frame rate. Maybe 8 frames per second. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is a complete character rig. Woo! And on any of these views, I can just stop, take the armature, and yeah, animate them. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Oh no. Okay, I need to be careful. Alright. Yeah. So the way that this is going to be animated is if I take all of the keyframes, and you can see there's an awful lot of them, but if I just basically, I'm going to take them like 100 frames down to the end, and then as I animate, I can just duplicate them into place. So, for example, here he's in the front view, but then actually I want him to suddenly turn into the side view. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay, hang on. Okay, so right now, not every grease pencil object has a new keyframe for every frame, but I'm going to need to go through and add that. I might do that off stream. Anyway, but the point is, look at that. I just animate him going from front view to side view, and that's cool. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to move everything back into place. Alright. Yeah. Look at him go. You can make him Club Penguin dance. Oh, I never played Club Penguin, but I think I saw like a video of the making of it. So I think I'm vaguely familiar with what the dance looks like, and he does kind of spin around. Maybe that's a good idea. That would be a good display of the rig. Yeah, exactly. With the spinning around. I still like your idea about the bartender thing, but then maybe I could do both because one, then have one vertical and one horizontal format, and then I've got a YouTube short and a YouTube video. Perfect. There's a GIF of it. I'll just quickly look it up. All right. Club Penguin dance GIF. Oh yeah, perfect for turning around. Very very simple animation. Yeah, I might keep thinking on that. All right. See you, Lysius Aurelius. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go to bed. It's late o'clock officially. All right. I might see you tomorrow, depending on how things go. It's a Saturday tomorrow. Yeah, I don't see a reason why not. All right. Goodbye.